So we have more Superman Silver Age dailies, and this is The Mad Woman of Metropolis, which ran from July 3rd, 1961 to August 12th, 1961, with story by Jerry Siegel and art by Wayne Boring. This originally was in Lois Lane number 26, published in July 1961, with story by Robert Bernstein and art by Kurt Schaffenberger. And this story is almost word for word the same. Very, very similar. One afternoon at the Daily Planet, as Lois Lane finishes a story, Clark's phone is ringing. I better answer it. Hello, Clark Kent's desk. Lois Lane speaking. Put Kent on. I got a scoop for him. Hurry, I ain't got much time. You say you've got a scoop for Clark Kent? Clark's not here. But if I don't take the message, the planet might lose a big story. I'll see if I can get away with an old trick. Just a second. I see Kent coming now. Then, as Lois hastily covers the transmitter with her hanky, This is Clark Kent. Who is calling? Never mind that. Just listen. Clark Kent speaking. Go on. If you want a juicy headline, meet me at 7 p.m. at the abandoned lighthouse on Ponder Point. And come alone, or no story. He hung up. Where do I go from here? Click. Some situation. A phoned tip for Clark, and he's out of the office. My boss, Perry White, is away in Europe on business. Jimmy Olsen's on vacation, and Superman is heaven knows where. There's no one whose advice I can ask about whether the scheme I'm hatching is too wild. Well, wild or not, I'm keeping this appointment for Clark. I want that scoop for myself. As I recall, there's something in this storage room which can help me become Clark Kent. I was right. Jimmy Olsen recently left his disguise trunk here. I can use this suit, glasses, football shoulder pads, elevated shoes. Well, this is the best I can do to pad my shoulders. Luckily, I must see this tipster at night, so he'll think I'm Clark if I stay in the shadows and disguise my voice. That night at 7 p.m. as Lois reaches the abandoned lighthouse. It's time for me in my disguise as Clark Kent to keep that appointment with the anonymous tipster. Nobody is around. Maybe the character I'm to meet is inside this old lighthouse. I'll have a look. I'll change my voice from soprano to baritone. But as the disguised Lois pokes her head through the entrance, This is Clark Kent. Is anybody... Oh, pleased to meet you, Kent. As a state patrol car cruises by Ponder Point Road. Hey, that's funny. There's a light at the old lighthouse. Nobody's been there for 5 years. We'd better investigate. Okay, chum, spill it. What are you doing here? My aching head. Gasp. That voice, it sounds like a girl, naturally, because I am a girl. I was lured into a trap and slugged from behind. You were, eh? And may I ask what you're doing in man's clothes, lady? That's none of your business. I'm Lois Lane, planet reporter, pinch hitting for Clark Kent. Another reporter. Let me explain. We're listening. When Lois completes her story, you don't believe me. It'll be a simple matter for us to check up on your story when we reach our headquarters. I've got Clark Kent on the phone. Contrary to what you told us, he says he's been in the newspaper office all afternoon. What? He also says he received no phone calls, but that you've been acting peculiar all day. He's crazy. Let me talk to him. That's right, Lois. I haven't been out of the office all day. If you think otherwise, you're very mistaken. You can't mean what you're saying, Clark. You weren't at the office. I think you've been overworking lately. Maybe that's why you're beginning to see and hear things. I gotta hang up now, Lois. Perry White wants me to prepare a Father's Day feature. So long. Maybe he's right. Maybe I have been working too hard, and it's affecting my mind. Wait. Clark said he thinks I'm imagining things, but this bump on my head is very real. You probably stumbled and knocked yourself out. Come, Miss Lane. We'll drive you home. A night's rest will do you a world of good. That night, as Lois tosses fitfully. Gosh, I hope I'm not cracking up. I'd better take Clark's advice and go easy on my work. Next day at the Planet office. Golly, Clark, I sure got a flood of mail from readers praising my last article. You haven't put down that letter opener all morning. I remember that gold letter opener the police commissioner gave it to you last year for capturing Killer Meeks. Right, Meeks got 10 years. He swore he'd get me for sending him to prison. But Meeks is still behind bars, and I'm still alive and kicking. Lois, do me a favor. Get me some typing paper from the storage room. I'm expecting a call, and I don't want to leave my desk. Shortly in the storage room. Gasp. A life-size canvas painting of Superman slashed to ribbons with a knife. Clark, come here, quick. That picture of Superman we displayed during Superman Week. Yes, what about it, Lois? Ugh, some maniac destroyed it. Good heavens, Lois. When I saw it a few hours ago, it was undamaged. That knife, Lois. What are you doing with that knife? What am I doing with this knife? Why, I was opening some fan mail. Then, wait, you don't think that I... Oh, no, I couldn't do a thing like that. Not to Superman's picture. I'd have to be crazy. Yes, Lois, it could only be the act of a mad person. Better give me that knife. Yes, please take it. I don't want to even touch it anymore. What's gotten into me, Clark? If I could mutilate that picture, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. You'd better let me take you to a psychiatrist friend of mine who might be able to help you. You can't go on like this, Lois. You're right. But as Lois applies some makeup... Wait, where did you get those pills, Lois? What were these poison pills doing in your purse, Lois? Poison pills? I attended a police safety lecture about poisons yesterday. By accident, I must have picked up this exhibit and put it in my purse. I'll leave it on my desk. In my condition, I might unknowingly take a deadly pill. You'd better see that psychiatrist friend of mine immediately. Presently, relax, Miss Lane. I run amok with knives, carry poison pills around in my purse, and he says relax. Clark has told me how hard you work. Now, aside from your newspaper career, do you have any other interests, like a boyfriend? Well, Dr. Blake, there's Superman. But how can I honestly say he's my boyfriend when he seldom dates me? Don't hesitate, Miss Lane. I want you to talk freely about whatever comes to your mind. Well, Superman is always on my mind. I'll be frank. After all, my sanity is at stake. Go on, Miss Lane. Tell me more about your Superman and yourself. I keep thinking of the many occasions he saved my life. Like the time he rescued me when I leaned too far out of the window to take a picture of a parade passing in the street below. The camera! Don't worry, Lois, I caught it. Very interesting. Very interesting. Indeed. Continue, Miss Lane. He's staring at me as though I were one of the craziest, most mixed-up cases he's ever seen. So we'll find out if Lois Lane truly has gone insane.